Welcome to another episode of Keep It on the SDL. Today we are breaking down a pretty emotional-ish topic. Look, Grinch is trying to get outside. Grinch, come here. A pretty emotional topic. It is the day I got released from WWE. The day I got fired. The day I lost my dream job. It was brutal. But I've never really spoken about, at length the ins and the outs. If you read my book, it is in the book. But I am here today to bring you guys a little bit more of the insider scoop. I don't know what day of the week it was. Actually, I think it was a Friday, because usually they do releases on a Thursday, Friday. I'm pretty sure it was a Friday. And the night before, I actually had really bad stomach pains because I have stomach issues. I was in so much pain. I was up all night. I went to the ER the night before. I was in so much pain. And I woke up that Friday and I ended up texting Steve Carino because he organizes the PC live events where they have in-house little mini shows for the people on NXT. And I texted him and was like, hey, I can't come into work today. I'm so sick. I was up all night in the ER with stomach pain. I'm fucked. I can't come. And for some reason, look guys, little skeleton Jack. I just had a feeling I sent a message and I laid in bed and I thought, this is my last day at work. I'm never going back in there. I'm done. That was it, which is really weird. And at this period in time, it was when John Laurinaitis and Vince were controlling NXT, and there was lots of mass releases happening. It was COVID. It was so chaotic. People were getting fired left, right, and center. It felt like every few weeks there was going to be a new release happening. It was brutal, right? And I always fell into that panic. I always fell into the hoopla. When it came to a Thursday, we would all start gossiping and chatting and what's going to happen, who's going to get released. I heard there's releases coming. It would hit the dirt sheets. And that's another thing people don't realize is we as wrestlers a lot of the time get the information from Twitter. The same time that the rest of the world is finding out that our best friends have lost their job is we're finding it out through Twitter. So we're trying to refresh Twitter, seeing what's happening. For some reason, it was in the middle of the Duja, I can't even say my own fucking team name, Duja and Index storyline. Me, Duke Hudson, Indy Hartwell, and Dexter Lumis were all in this big love storyline. We'd been on TV every single week for 3 months, and this was the first month that we were left off TV. And because I would text Johnny Russo, the head writer, on a Monday night and go, hey, what are we doing this week? And he texted me back, nothing, you're left off a week off or something like that. And I was like, And I literally replied and I said, just tell me that we're getting fired. Are we getting fired? And he replied back and was like, why do you always say that? And every single person that I saw that week, any writer, any coach, even fucking the medical team, I was like, guys, am I getting fired? I feel like I'm getting fired. Just tell me. I feel like we're getting released. Even Duke Hudson was like, oh, if there's releases, me and Dexter are fucked because we're guys and we're older. You and Indy are fine. You'll be fine. But I just couldn't shake the feeling. And everyone that I asked was like, no, you're being silly, da 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 da. But I was like, I just feel like something's happening. Anyways, oh my God, can you hear him purring? Let's do ASMR. Kitten ASMR. I was like, I just feel like we're getting released. But then when it came to that day, and meanwhile, keep in mind, I'd signed a brand new lease the week before for a 12-month lease for a new apartment. So I was literally moving, I was unpacking my apartment, and my phone started going off. And we were all texting each other, and we're like, oh my God, what's happening? Are people getting released? In the group chat, one of the girls had said, oh my God, someone's getting released, da 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 da. And I usually would really buy into it and get really panicked and I would just sit on my couch frozen for a couple of hours with my phone in my hand. Oh my God, is this going to be it? Is this it? And that day, for some reason, I just thought to myself, I'm not doing this again. I can't buy into this panic every single time this happens. I'm just gonna put my phone down and I'm gonna keep packing and I'm not gonna look at my phone. So I like put my phone down, wasn't checking the messages. I was unpacking plates in my kitchen out of a moving box. And then my phone started ringing. And then I looked at the phone and it was a 203 number. And 203 is the area code for Connecticut, and the HQ is in Connecticut. So you knew if a 203 number was coming, it's probably not good. It's not usually great. So I looked at it and I just like thought to myself, like, okay, here we go. And it's this feeling that I've only had a couple times in my life, but it's like, the only way I can describe it is like you take a deep breath in and it feels like you're preparing yourself to have a bucket of ice water poured on you. And you're just like, and you know that your life is going to change forever. Like, you know, the next thing that happens is you're not going to be the same person that you were before this, now you're a different person. So I answer the phone and I hear fucking John Laurinaitis' voice, very, very distinct. Hey, Stephanie, I regret to inform you that we will not be continuing your contract with WWE for budget cut reasons. And I just go, okay, bye. And just hang up. And I'm like, what is there to, what do you say? What is there to do? You know, like you don't like, what the fuck are you gonna say? There's nothing you can say. You know what I mean? You can't say, can I take a pay cut? What did I do? Did I do something wrong? You know they're never gonna tell you the real reason. You know that you're never gonna get the closure or the feedback that you want. You're just gonna get more like corporate shit, right? Which I understand. That's not a knock. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying the reality is that's the way that this goes in any company. So, okay, I put my phone down. I think the first thing I did, I texted Bloom, Coach Bloom. I go, how do I get my job back? He goes, what? And then he called me. I go, bro, I just got fired. He's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm going to look into it. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, whatever. Then I called one of my friends, spoke to her for a couple of minutes, texted Indy. I called my boyfriend at the time. He was living in Australia. Then after a couple of minutes, he was like, I gotta go to work. And I was like, cool. Thanks, dude. And then Grinch, quiet. And then a few of the girls came over and we just sat in the house and sat on my couch and cried and watched TV and cried. And, you know, the other thing too is like, it's scary for everyone. It's scary for me because I just got released, but then it's also scary for all the people who are also worried about their own jobs. You know, Indy's sitting there terrified that she's gonna get released. All the other girls are terrified they're getting released. So it's not only scary for the person who just lost their job, it's very scary for everyone else because no one knows who's next. It's always so random. And then before I could even think about like losing my dream job, it was then, holy fuck, I'm getting deported in 29 days if I don't get another visa. Like, you instantly lose your visa with WWE. And I reached out to them and was like, hey, like, what am I meant to do about my visa? And they're like, you should speak to a lawyer. And I'm like, fuck. So then Indy came over, got all the contacts from Chelsea Green. Chelsea, heaven sent, I will never be able to say enough things about Chelsea, about how much she's fucking helped me. Sent all of her lawyers, all of her managers, all of her everything, because she's foreign as well, so she's been through this shit. And thank God. Grinch. One sec. Grinch. And we're back. Thank God Chelsea helped me out because I finally managed to get set up with the right managers and I got a new visa and, you know, however many fucking bajillion $1,000s later, I'm in the States. I have a visa. I work for TNA. Everything is great, guys. All I can say from that story is like, it's so easy when things are great. You know what I mean? Like when things are great, you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, everything's going great. But then when life throws you shit sandwiches, that is when you build character. That is when you learn what kind of person you really are. You know, because it's easy to fucking think you're on top of the world. Guess what? No one stays on top of the world forever. Everyone loses their job at some point. Every single person that works at WWE right now is going to get fired at some point, and that's the reality of the situation. So it's like, for me, I just thought, like, I'm glad that I tried to keep good relationships with everyone. I'm glad that, like, I don't have any regrets. I'm glad that, you know, I tried my hardest when I was there. I put in as much effort as I could. It's now led me to this awesome place, TNA, which I absolutely love working for. So it's like, everything happens for a reason. Everything goes the way it's meant to. I am so glad I got released when I did, because I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't know Mance. I wouldn't be getting married to the love of my life. I wouldn't have the freedom to be able to do all the things I can do. I wouldn't have written my book. There are so many things that I'm so thankful for that I wouldn't have been able to do if I was still at WWE today. So I'm very glad that things worked out the way they did. At the time, I thought my life was over. It was the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. But hindsight is a beautiful thing, because, you know, I now see that things worked out. Guys, if you liked this video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Steph Delander on Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Facebook, all that good shit. Guys, I love you so much. Until next time, keep it on the SDL. Mwah.